sharpens. Hey.
Hey, welcome to the Toolshed. Thanks for stopping by this morning. We've got a great week planned for you. We're giving away some tools. I'm excited. Today's episode I'm excited for.
It's a big one.
You know, the Toolshed is brought to you by Schedule Engine. Today's episode, What Champions Control, is sponsored by our good friends over at Emerson. How are you, Eddie?
You know what? It's another beautiful week. We've got this week and next week, and then this is over. What we're talking about today is what champions control. That's sort of a callback to the initial theme, right? So Schedule Engine, in conjunction with Emerson, put together this for 8 weeks, and it was a finite thing, and it's all about getting ready for
Summer.
For summer, right?
Yeah.
And so when we think about it, lots of teams go out for training, but not everybody wins the playoff. And so this week, it's all about what champions can control, because at the end of the day, as we study high performance champions, pick the field, special forces, whatever you want to do, the people that focus on what they can control, they're the ones that go all the way. So it's pretty exciting.
Well, they got to take action.
You got to take action.
You got to take action. Whatever you learn at the tool shed from us or from whoever's watching, you got to take it out of the shed. This is just the huddle, but you got to go out and play the game.
Hooah.
Right?
I like it.
Hey, what's Monday? Monday
is Meme Monday. Yum. Oh, that's different. But yes, let's look at some memes. Okay, first one. This made me laugh so much because it kind of reminded me of no, it's fine, Eddie, I'll tell the jokes. It kind of reminded, I got a little Jerry Eddie vibe from this one. I'll let you figure out who's Leo. But that first minute, you're worried about the timer delay, and you're like, oh, I thought we fixed it, and it doesn't come on, and you got the apprentice, and then you get the champions. It'll be fine, young one.
Yes.
Yeah. Steady hand. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Similar. But this one is special. It's a beautiful day when you show up and that customer has cleared the path. Because, man, people keep some weird stuff in cupboards, and I don't need to see it. So this is good, man. This is good. Let's keep.
They've cleared the path.
I have to make eye contact with the lady. Let's keep it clean. All right. What's next? This one I'm feeling personally attacked because I told you I'm at that age where you use the wrong pillow and you've heard it. This is what the Predator would see if... I think this is an installer, though, judging by those knees. I don't know why I find that one funny. Okay, all right, last one.
As long as you think they're funny, that's really it.
That's the point. All right, so this is it, man. Regardless of what you think about the team or the player, you just cannot deny performers perform.
Yeah,
leaders lead. Performers perform and champions win. And at the end of the day, there's 80,000 people in the stadium that think they're the champion, but there's only so many on the field. And those are the ones that pay the price, do the hard work. And that's who we're talking about today. That's what this 8 week's all about. And I just thought that was great. So, Monday.
Hey, my wife and I were talking about that over the weekend, about how some people, they handle the pressure better.
Oh, that's
all those professional athletes, they feel that pressure to perform and they feel that pressure to win. But the really great ones, the champions, they can handle the pressure a little bit better.
Yeah, and I think what we're talking about today, we'll get to why.
Yeah.
And I think it's what they choose to focus on. So, but before we get to the second the company shoutouts, I want to talk about the tool giveaway. It's awesome. We asked for suggestions. So today's giveaway is a set of Klein tools. I can only assume we lit some electricians in the group. If if you're an electrician, that's hilarious. I promise. No, we got this sweet set of insulated Klein tools. So here's the deal. We had 30 people jump in the tool shed over the weekend. Yeah. Let's let it go today. Go ahead, tag someone. If they join, you're in the running. We'll be like Oprah over here, you get a screwdriver, you get a screwdriver. It'll be awesome. We'll give you to the end of the day. Maybe we'll announce it tomorrow.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Somebody's going to win. It could be you.
Jerry said it was all right, so we're going to do it. Love it. Last thing, company shout out. I'm excited about this one today because it's sort of a good friend. I want to give a shout out to the entire Empire HVAC down in Georgia, Decatur. I think I said that right. Decatur, Georgia. Martin Hoover, great leader down there. They've been in business since 1985. Now, I know Martin. I've had the privilege of serving with him. And I know he's good because he's one of those dudes that just shows up, is quiet, and does the work. I've watched them volunteer at organizations like ACA, Air Conditioning Contractors of America. They're the ones looking out for making sure like the science behind what we do is right. They're working with manufacturers. They're working down in Washington to make sure you can take a tax credit to your customers. All kinds of stuff. He supports NATE, the North American Technician Excellence Program, just doing all this stuff right, all the stuff champions do, right? Martin, his entire team down there, and most importantly, I think, as our boy, HVAC reefer guy would say, he's a good human.
Good human.
That's what we like in the show,
Yeah.
right?
Hey,
So anyway, all right. So today's thing, what got me thinking? I was thinking about a story back when dinosaurs roamed the land, and I was a service tech. All those years ago, I was thinking about my first service manager, and you got a great episode tomorrow, so I don't want to give too much away, but he was one of those people, like one of those quiet leaders in the industry. And I remember I'd just been running service for a little bit, and I go into his office in the morning, just like you do. And I was like, yeah. He's like, how you doing? I was like, I'm having a good week. I'm having a good week. He goes, and have you ever noticed great leaders ask good questions? And he's just like all Columbo about it. He's like, oh, why do you think that is? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, would you think the customers are better? I was like, no, I don't think so. Your calls any better? I was like, no. It must be the weather. The weather's better. I'm like, nah, not really. He goes, wonder what it is. And in that conversation, he allowed me to discover that really it was me. I was showing up different. And it was that like aha moment. You talk about your aha moment. Like that was my aha moment that, sometimes when we focus on the right things, magically, things go better, right?
Yeah, you're in charge.
I was, and it reminded me that we're going to talk about, we're doing a little arts and crafts here. There was a guy that used to live a long time ago. His name was Epictetus, and he said, we have two jobs in life. One, to define things into two columns and then pick the right column. So what he did, and service managers, here's the thing for you. Go ahead. And once we set this up, pause the video. Take a piece of paper and draw a line right down the middle. It's just real simple. It could be copy or paper. Turn something over, and then on the top of it, just write things I can control. See how I did that? That was like a studio.
That was nice. It's
See?
better
I told
than
you I
my
had a plan.
circle.
Yeah. Things I can control and things I can't. I felt really special. I pulled out. Here's one I made earlier. And here's the deal. Like once you've got it, things I can control, things I can't control. That's simple. Pause this. Let your team take 5 minutes and just see what they come up with. Now, here's the deal. If you're back, I've seen them do
5 minutes later.
Yeah. If you're back, if you've got more than 3, 4, 5 people in the room, you're going to see all kinds of things under things I can control. I've done this with about 100 business leaders at a conference, and these are well-educated, well-experienced people. And I've seen people put down sales. I can control sales. I can control the weather. And it's like, no. And I contrast that. I did this with my son. He was about 13 at the time. And I did this with my son. And I gave them the paper, and I was all dad about it. I was like, here, son. And I turn around, I take 3 steps, and I don't even make it out of the room. And he's like, done. And I come back, and he says, and he has it, and he wrote, things I can control. He said, me, things I can't control, everything else. And he got it. He got what the ancient guys 2,500 years ago were talking about. The only thing you control are your thoughts, your deeds, and your actions. Now, that's kind of a good news, bad news situation, because if you understand that, everything's under your control. If you understand that, it means that you're driving the bus. And you got to take responsibility for life. But that's kind of adult 101, right? So, but like at 13, I was like, I did one of those dad things where I was like, well, that's, I actually accused him of getting it at school that day. I was like, well done. I turned around, I was like, holy cow, who is that kid? Every once in a while, the apple gets a lucky bounce,
Yeah,
it's good, it's good. Anyway, that's kind of, and so we were talking about, what is it you were saying, like, regardless of what happens?
Well, a lot of people talk about, like, it's not really the things that happen to you, it's the response that you have to those things, right? And so regardless of what happens, you should ask yourself, are my actions helping this situation?
Wow.
Like,
That's
that
like,
is a really good question to ask when you have a challenge.
you're dropping some knowledge today, buddy. That one's, regardless of what happens, are my action, because I'm pretty sure at the back of the beginning of it. And that's one of the things champions realize. Like, whether dispatch gives you like the good call, whether the other cat gets the better customers, whether things are going well outside of work, someone cuts you off in traffic, your tool, man, there's just some people that just focus on the things they control. You know, you can't fight the universe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes we get caught up in the things that we can't control,
Right.
and we carry that baggage with us all day long, and we carry it at home.
Yeah.
And we come home with that baggage, and we couldn't even control all that while we're at work, and so we certainly can't control it after we get home, but we bring it home with us.
We do, and it's funny. Covey talks about this. Stephen Covey, you know, I talk about him a lot. He's got these circles of stuff. He says all of our emotional energy should be in the middle. This should be on the things that we can control, which is really us, our thoughts, our actions, our deeds. Outside, there's these things that influence us, like maybe our boss, and we can, you know, we can give feedback, we can, you know, we can influence, and we should spend a little bit of emotional energy there. And then there's all the stuff that concerns us, the world, taxis, what's going on, the weather. But like at the end of the day, we should spend zero energy on it because we can't do anything about it. And here's the deal. I've just seen way too many people in the trades bust their hump, put in not just a physical day, but then they're getting angry because suppliers let them down. Things show up damaged and plans go out. And what happens is the family gets the emotional leftovers. And at the tool shed, man, we don't want that.
No, we don't want that. And think about this, like whatever your biggest problem is today, think back 3 years ago.
Yeah.
To May the 17th, 2019. What was your biggest problem then? And you probably can't really think about what that problem was, but at the time it was huge, right? And today you can't even remember what it is. And so I read this thing one time, Eddie, that said when you have a challenge or you have a problem, you should ask yourself, is this a 5-minute problem? Is this a 5-hour problem? Or is this a 5-month problem? And what you're going to find out about most of your challenges and most of your problems is it falls in the 5-minute to 5-hour category. Whatever your biggest problem is that you run across today, tomorrow that problem's going to be solved.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, we really, like, it's so funny because I can worry as much as the next person, but what I realized from working with people, you know, we talk about this a lot. We're the product of just the incredible men and women that we've worked with all those years. They just focus on the right stuff.
I was pointing at you.
Oh.
Like I'm lucky to I work in the Toolshed with Eddie McFarlane every day. How cool is that, right?
It's
and you get to join us every day, which is super duper cool, right?
So here's what we're talking, like this whole principle. Remember we talked about you and you alone. You're in that little dinghy and you've got your hand on the rudder. When you focus on things outside your control, you're taking your hand off that rudder and you're just letting anybody drive.
Yeah.
And man, you made a promise to yourself, a promise to your family, a promise to your career that, you know, you were going to be in control. And so today, when you get new information, you have to process it and you have to decide, am I going to make a choice based on this action? And remember, not making a choice is really accepting the status quo. So we've talked about this today. You need to decide, are you going to continue to give your family the leftovers, or are you going to make a decision and do something different, right? And so today's takeaway is pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Today, we just want you to understand what you're thinking about. More importantly, what are you sort of worrying / obsessing, and what's that thought that you can't seem to let go? Because it's consuming your mental energy. And we just want you to be aware of that. And you need to decide who's in control today. Who's in control? Is it you? And if it's not you, who the heck is it? Man, if it's not you, because champions are in control. We've got summer coming. We've got, 8 episodes left. Getting down at the rubber. And we said we'd always share the truth with you, and it's just a hard truth. Champions focus on what they can control. We want you to be a champion. We want you to go out and crush it. Not for your company. Not even, just for yourself. Don't do it for us, man. Go out and be the best you can be today, and life will be good. Anyway, that's it. Remember, tag a friend to win some tools. Join us tomorrow back in this one-of-a-kind, only original schedule engine tool shed, sponsored by our dear friends at Emerson, who, spoiler, we're going to have a guest at the end
Thursday.
of this week, Thursday.
Yeah.
We get someone from the Emerson team come and join us live in the studio. And
Live.
I don't know.
We do this live every day. It's awesome.
Why don't you give us our benediction there?
Hey, here's the benediction. Hey, be good out there so you can do good out there. And we'll see you tomorrow on the Toolshed. Thanks for stopping by.
Wahoo!